We're diving deep into something incredibly powerful, the words that can transform every cell in your body. This is about how you can use language and intention to change your reality at the deepest level. Imagine your body as a complex network of cells, each one responding to the messages you send it. What if I told you that the words you use could literally rewire your brain, reshape your emotions, and even alter your physical health? Let's start by understanding why words can have such a big effect on us. Words are not just sounds we make with our mouths. They actually carry energy. This energy can have a real impact on how our body works. When we talk about how words influence us, we're talking about how the things we say and think can affect our health and feelings in a powerful way. Think about a time when you spoke kindly to someone. Maybe you gave them a compliment or said something encouraging. You probably noticed that it made both of you feel good. This positive feeling happens because kind words create positive energy. This kind of energy makes us feel happy and relaxed. It can actually help us feel better and even improve our health. On the other hand, when conversations are harsh or mean, it can create stress. Think about a time when someone said something hurtful to you. How did you feel? Likely, it made you feel upset or stressed. This kind of negative energy can affect you in many ways. When you experience stress, your body releases stress hormones. These hormones, like cortisol, are chemicals that help your body deal with stress. But if there is too much of them, they can be harmful. Now imagine if you could use words intentionally to create positive changes in your life. It all begins with understanding how the brain and body are interconnected. Your brain is the command center that sends signals throughout your body, telling your cells what to do. When you think positive, empowering thoughts and speak affirmatively, you're essentially giving your body new instructions. Your cells begin to respond to these new signals, altering their behavior and creating new health patterns. Here's where it gets really fascinating. Your body is constantly changing. Every moment, your cells are being repaired, regenerated, and replaced. If you introduce positive, uplifting words into your life, you create a new pattern of energy and information for your cells to follow. It's like planting seeds in a garden. The seeds you plant will determine the type of flowers that bloom. If you plant positivity, you'll harvest a garden of health and well-being. So, how do we use words effectively to transform our bodies? Let's look at the process. First, it starts with intention. You need to be clear about what you want to change and why. Are you aiming for better health, increased happiness, or personal growth? Your intention sets the stage for your transformation. It's the seed you're planting in the garden of your mind. Once you have a clear intention, the next step is to align your thoughts and words with that intention. For example, if you want to improve your health, start by speaking affirmations that reflect that goal. Say things like, I am healthy and vibrant, or every cell in my body is filled with energy and vitality. These affirmations help to reinforce the belief that you are already experiencing the health you desire. What happens when you speak these affirmations? Your brain starts to create new neural pathways. These pathways are like highways in your brain that carry information. By repeatedly saying positive affirmations, you are essentially paving new roads for your brain to travel on. Over time, these new pathways become stronger and more dominant, leading to changes in your thoughts, emotions, and even physical health. But it's not just about repeating words. It's about feeling them deeply. Your emotions play a crucial role in this process. When you say affirmations with genuine emotion, you amplify their impact. Feel the gratitude, joy, and health as if you have already achieved your goal. This emotional charge helps to cement the new neural pathways and makes the transformation more effective. Another key aspect is consistency. Just as with any practice, the more you do it, the more effective it becomes. If you only use positive words occasionally, the impact on your body will be limited. But if you make it a regular part of your daily routine, you'll start to see real changes. Incorporate affirmations into your morning routine, during meditation, or even throughout your day. Now let's talk about the science behind why using positive words and affirmations is so powerful. When you speak positively to yourself or use affirmations, you're actually influencing your brain in several important ways. Inside your brain, there are special chemicals called neurotransmitters and hormones. These chemicals play a big role in how you feel and how your body works. For example, neurotransmitters help send messages between different parts of your brain and body. Hormones, on the other hand, travel through your blood and affect various functions, including your mood and stress levels. When you use positive words and affirmations, you can change the way these chemicals are released in your brain. Let's break this down a bit more. One of the key neurotransmitters involved is dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical because it is linked to feelings of pleasure and reward. When you think positively or say positive things to yourself, your brain releases more dopamine. This extra dopamine makes you feel happier and more content. It's like giving yourself a little boost of joy. This increase in dopamine doesn't just make you feel good in the moment. It has a bigger impact on your overall health. For instance, when you're happy and content, your body is better able to fight off illness. This is because a positive mood can boost your immune system. A stronger immune system helps you stay healthy and recover more quickly from sickness. Positive affirmations can also help reduce stress. Stress is often linked to negative feelings and can be harmful to your body if it lasts for a long time. When you use positive affirmations, you can decrease the release of stress hormones such as cortisol. Lower levels of cortisol mean that you're less likely to feel overwhelmed or anxious. This reduction in stress can have many benefits for your health, including better sleep and improved heart health. But it's not just dopamine and cortisol that are affected. Other chemicals in your brain are also influenced by positive thinking. For example, endorphins are chemicals that act as natural painkillers and mood enhancers. When you feel happy and positive, your brain releases more endorphins, which can help you feel better both mentally and physically. Positive affirmations can also improve your focus and motivation. When you believe in yourself and use encouraging words, your brain becomes more focused on achieving your goals. This improved focus can lead to better performance in various areas of your life, such as work or personal projects. When you're motivated and focused, you're more likely to take positive actions that contribute to your overall well-being. Conversely, negative words and thoughts can have the opposite effect. They can trigger the release of stress hormones like cortisol, which can lead to inflammation and a weakened immune system. This is why it's so important to be mindful of the language you use, both with yourself and with others. Your thoughts and words also have a profound effect on your DNA. Research has shown that your genes can be turned on or off based on the signals you send your body. This is known as epigenetics. By using positive affirmations and cultivating a positive mindset, you can influence which genes are expressed and which are suppressed. This means that you have the power to influence your genetic expression and ultimately your health and well-being. Let's put this into practice and make it really simple. Imagine you're dealing with a health issue, something that's making you feel unwell. It's easy to start thinking and speaking negatively when you're not feeling your best. For example, you might say things like, "I am sick," or "I'll never get better." These kinds of statements focus on the problem and make you feel worse. They don't help you heal. Instead, they can keep you stuck in a negative place. Now let's try something different. Instead of focusing on how sick you feel or how you're struggling, you can change the way you speak to yourself. The words you choose can make a big difference in how you feel and how your body responds. For instance, you could say to yourself, "My body is healing every day," or "I am strong and resilient." These statements are positive and empowering. They focus on what you want to achieve rather than what you're struggling with. When you use positive language, you're not ignoring the problem. Instead, you're choosing to focus on solutions and outcomes that support your healing. It's like giving your mind and body new instructions. By saying things like, "My body is healing every day," you're reminding yourself that you're making progress, even if it's slow. This can help shift your focus from the illness to the recovery process. Similarly, saying, "I am strong and resilient," helps you to see yourself in a positive light. It's like giving yourself a pep talk. You're telling yourself that you have the strength and ability to overcome challenges. This kind of self-talk can boost your confidence and help you feel more empowered. When you believe in your own strength, you're more likely to take positive actions that support your healing. This shift in language and focus can have a real impact on your health. When you speak positively, your mind starts to align with those positive thoughts. This alignment can help reduce stress and improve your overall well-being. Stress can actually make health issues worse, so reducing stress through positive thinking can be beneficial. Also, positive statements help to create a new mindset. When you focus on healing and strength, your brain starts to believe these new ideas. Your brain sends these positive messages to your body, and your body responds accordingly. It's like planting seeds in a garden. The more you plant positive thoughts, the more you grow positive outcomes. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine you're dealing with a cold. Instead of saying, "I'm so sick and it's never going to end," try saying, "I am getting better each day." Visualize yourself feeling better and getting stronger. This can make you feel more hopeful and less frustrated. It can also help you take better care of yourself because you're focusing on getting better rather than on how sick you feel. Another example is if you're recovering from an injury. Instead of thinking, "This injury is going to keep me from doing what I love," try thinking, "Every day I'm moving closer to full recovery." Picture yourself getting back to your favorite activities. This positive focus can make your recovery process smoother and faster. It's really important to create a supportive environment when you're trying to make positive changes in your life. The people you spend time with and the space you live in can have a big impact on your transformation. Surrounding yourself with supportive and encouraging people can make a huge difference in your journey. Think about it this way. When you're trying to change something about yourself or your life, you need to be in a positive and uplifting environment. If you're around people who believe in you and support your goals, it can make it easier for you to stay motivated and focused. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by people who are negative or doubt your abilities, it can be much harder to stay on track and believe in yourself. So, one of the first things you should do is find and spend more time with people who uplift and encourage you. These are the friends, family members, or mentors who believe in your potential and want to see you succeed. Their positive energy can help you stay inspired and keep pushing towards your goals. When you talk to them, you feel more confident and motivated because they support you and cheer you on. Creating a positive space in your home or work environment is also very important. This means making your surroundings a place where you feel good and inspired. You can do this by including things that make you feel happy and motivated. For example, you might want to have positive affirmations or inspirational quotes displayed where you can see them every day. This can feel grateful. You feel a love for life. You feel a joy for existence. You feel a passion for the moment. You will not be looking for your future because you'll feel like it's already happened. It's the moment that we start feeling those self-limiting emotions, that we feel separation, and then we start looking for it again. Well then, if you're waiting, you're not creating, you're in separation again. So then, whatever it takes for you to move into a state of being. And what is a state of being? Thoughts are the vocabulary of the brain. Feelings are the vocabulary of your body. How you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So then, if you wake up in the morning and you come back to your senses with a clean slate, and you say, I don't feel anything, and you say, well, let me start thinking about all the problems in my life. Well, all those problems are connected to different people or different objects or things at different times and places. The moment you remember your problems, a memory is a record of the past. You're thinking in the past. Every one of those problems has an emotion associated with them. So all of a sudden you start feeling unhappy, you start feeling bitter, you start feeling frustrated. So now your body's in the past. So then most people then create a state of being that's connected to their past. And if they're in the familiar past, then they are going to crave the predictable future, and they're going to fall back into routine. So then we want people then to get very clear on that vision of their future, however they do it, and begin to combine that clear intention with an elevated emotion. And the stronger the emotion they feel from the vision they're creating, the more altered they feel inside of them, the more they're going to pay attention to the pictures in their mind. And now they're remembering their future. And biologically, it's exactly the same as remembering your past. In fact, if you're not being defined by a vision of the future, it means you're making your past more real than your future. So how many people in this audience have a clear vision of their future? You see, you think 60 to 70,000 thoughts in one day. Out of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts that you think in one day, 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts as the day before. So if you believe that your thoughts somehow are connected to your life, then the same thoughts always lead to the same choices. The same choices always lead to the same behaviors. The same behaviors create the same experiences, and the same experiences produce the same emotions. And those very same emotions drive the very same thoughts. And your biology, your neurocircuitry, your neurochemistry, your neurohormones, and even your genetic expression is equal to how you think, how you act, and how you feel. And how you think, how you act, and how you feel is called your personality. And your personality creates your personal reality. That's it. So then, if you wanted to create a new personal reality, a new life, then you would have to start thinking about what you've been thinking about and change it. You would have to become aware of your unconscious thoughts and observe them. You would have to pay attention to your automatic habits and behaviors and modify them. And you would have to look at the emotions you live by every single day that are connected to your past and decide if those emotions belong in your future. You see, most people try to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else. And you are here this week to learn vital information about creating a future and be defined by a vision of the future instead of the memories of the past. Because if you are not defined by some vision that is bigger than you, and you are not passionate about that vision, then you are left with the old hardware of the past in your brain, and you will be predictable in your life. So would you agree then? New thoughts, new information should lead to new choices. New choices should lead to new behaviors. And new behaviors should create new experiences. And new experiences should produce new emotions. And those new emotions should drive new thoughts. And that's called evolution. So if your brain is a record of the past and you don't have a vision of the future, then you are living in the past. And you will never arrive at that new future. Now there's another potential for you to exist free from the chains of the old self. That potential exists right now. And I want you to teach your body emotionally what it would feel like so that it begins to believe it's in the actual experience of freedom. Let your body feel freedom so that it thinks it's in the experience. And I want you to sit in your body emotionally to feel the joy of how you would feel. So the body begins to be in a future potential now, emotionally, and there's a potential for you to have all your needs met and be wealthy. And I want you to instruct your body to experience wealth and the joy of riches ahead of the actual events, so your body thinks it's in the experience. If you feel it, your body thinks it's in the experience. It doesn't know the difference. Now there's a potential in the field for a genius mind, quicksilver thoughts, insights that take you to new horizons. And the electricity that's created from an open mind Teach your body emotionally the joy and the inspiration of what that would feel like, so the body begins to experience your genius and think that it's in the event now. And there's a possibility existing simultaneously in the quantum field of the vitality of a new life, rich with opportunity, an awe for adventure, and a sense of unbelievability where you feel like you're in a dream. There's a potential in the quantum field that all your prayers are answered. That possibility finds you, that its prayers are being answered. Being inspired means to see a future without obstacles, to see a potential without sweating the details, to know that you're connected to a new reality. Lift yourself up and memorize this feeling of possibility, to be open to the expectation of the unknown. When you get to the top, now you hold your breath. And when you hold your breath, you contract those intrinsic muscles, and you begin to lift those muscles up, and you begin to compress those muscles, and you begin to push that cerebral spinal fluid up into your brain. So then why do I ask you to inhale and hold your breath? Now, this isn't inhaling and turning purple and pushing. If you're doing that, you're doing it wrong. It's a slow, steady breath, and you follow that breath all the way to the top, either to the top of your head, or you put your awareness on where that pineal gland is between the back of your throat and the back of your head. Now, when you inhale, that inhalation is very slow and very steady. It's not a big inhalation and pushing. It's a slow, steady breath, and you're contracting these muscles and coordinating it, and you're following your breath all the way to the top of your head. And when you get to the top of your head, I'm going to ask you to inhale a little bit more, and as you pull up, you're going to lock these muscles down even further, and you're lifting them up. Once you lift them up and you have your attention either on the top of your head or the space that your pineal gland occupies in space, I'm going to ask you to lock those muscles down and pump, squeeze, or push. And I want you to push that fluid up into your brain by squeezing the muscles. Not by holding your breath harder, but by squeezing those muscles. I want you to begin to pump that fluid and begin to compress up against your pineal gland. When you do this breath, you have to demonstrate a will that's greater than any program. You have to find a level of intensity or a level of passion that's greater than the body as the mind, or any addiction to any emotion. You have to be inspiration, the movement of energy. Don't be afraid of it. Just surrender into it. For some people, their body will do unusual things. That's information trying to be integrated into it. Don't be afraid of it. Just surrender into it. If your body does weird things, more than likely that's energy moving to your brain. If you have a lapse of consciousness, or you all of a sudden find yourself on the ground, that's energy moving into your brain. It's happened to me numerous times. It's a sign that you're getting close, or at least doing it correctly. Now, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So you want that energy to move right to the top of your head. Inspiration, the movement of energy. You have to find a level of intensity or a level of passion that's greater than the body as the mind, or any addiction to any emotion. Don't be afraid of it. Just surrender into it. On a Sunday morning, while she was in the shower, her husband said goodbye to his 2 children, yelled something to her while she was in the shower, and then went to the tallest building in Amsterdam and jumped off the building and committed suicide. Now that is a stressful event. And when she got the news, she experienced all the emotions that people experience from something that's shocking and traumatic like that. She was suffering. She was in pain. She was resentful. She was guilty. She was confused. She was angry. She went through the whole gamut of emotions. And all of those emotions, by the way, are derived from the hormones of stress. So she has an event in her life. It changes her biologically. She doesn't know how to control her emotional reaction. It turns into a mood, one long emotional reaction. If you keep reviewing that event in your mind, you begin to produce the same chemistry in your brain and body as if the event was occurring. So her body is being conditioned to the past because she's reliving the experience 50 to 100 times in a day, and her body is beginning to believe it's in the same past experience over and over again. It ultimately goes from a mood to a temperament, and now people are asking her in her life, why are you so upset? She tells the story, and she's basically saying, I am this way because of this event that happened to me 4 months ago. So then if we keep that going for extended periods of time and those emotions are driving our thoughts and we can't think greater than how we feel, our feelings have become the means of thinking. We're thinking in the past, and now we're stuck in our biology. So one day she wakes up and she's completely paralyzed from her waist down, and she can't get out of bed, so they rush her to the hospital. They do MRIs, they do all the tests. They can't find anything significant with her, so they just diagnose her with neuritis. And so now she's bedridden, and she cannot literally get out of bed. So now she can't work, she can't take care of her children. Her mother has to move in with her, and she doesn't have any money because she's not working, and her stress levels go up. So now the condition gets worse. As her stress levels go up, it's the same chemicals of stress that are knocking the brain and body out of balance, signaling the wrong genes in the wrong way. And another few months later, she develops these huge ulcerations in all the mucous membranes of her body, in her mouth, her throat, her upper stomach, her bladder, her vagina, her anus. She's got these huge ulcers. Now she can't eat, and if she can't eat, she's knocking her body now out of chemical balance even more, and it hurts. So now she's spiraling downward, and then she finally starts noticing her symptoms getting worse, and she goes to the doctor, and they diagnose her with esophageal cancer. Now, the moment she gets the diagnosis of esophageal cancer, now she gets even more stressed, and she's in fear now, and she realizes that her children may not have a mom. And so she came to one of our workshops, and I remember specifically because she came in with crutches and a wheelchair and a walker, and she sat on the left side of the room. And it was an introductory level course, and she understood that she could change it intellectually, but she had a very big challenge ahead of her, and she realized how much she was in her past. She had a vision of her future. Like she wasn't visualizing anything, she just got a very clear vision, and she was so excited that she went home and she did her meditation every single day. Now she understood that she had to upregulate new genes and downregulate genes that had to do with her disease, and that every day she had to knock on the genetic door. Now, the first thing I want to say is that I'm certain that there were days that she didn't feel like doing her meditation, and she did that anyway. She did it anyway. There were days where she had a tremendous amount of doubt, and she didn't think it was possible, but she did her meditations every single day. That's the point. So as people start getting through this and they start having very profound moments, and they're now opening their heart and they can sustain heart coherence and they know how to create brain coherence, that's the formula. And now they have a laser. They have coherent light and information that can read information that exists beyond the senses. And the pineal gland, once activated, will transduce it into profound imagery. Whether you see with your eyes open or your eyes closed, it doesn't matter because it's more real than anything you've ever experienced. Let's have a small pause here. It's the next part. Dr. Zhou is going to talk about his research about the 4 states of matter. Listen carefully. This is very important. And so I started researching, and I found that there's 4 states of matter. There's solids, there's liquids, there's gases, and the biggest, most abundant form of matter, what's called plasma. And plasma is when you have a negative charge and a positive charge, and they haven't formed an atom yet. So if you have a negative charge and a positive charge, then you're going to have an electrical current running between the two and a field around that current. And the universe really, stars connect through plasma. Everything connects through plasma. So when you start seeing these complex patterns, it's an impression from that plasma that's being pressed into 3-dimensional reality. And so if you take 3 stones, right, and you drop them at the same time into a plate, and you freeze the water in the plate, and those 3 stones fall, and they start producing concentric rings, and they start interfering with each other, you're starting to get complex pattern of interference. If you take a light and you shine it through that frozen piece of matter, when you shine the light through it, when the light shines through it, the laser shines through it, you will see the appearance, a hologram of those 3 stones projected out into space. That's exactly how reality is. So then reality then is a projection, right? And so then when you study matter, it's not matter that's emitting a field. It's actually those complex patterns that are creating matter. So then you don't change the tumor. The tumor is the effect of the pattern in the field. Change the field, you change matter. So teaching people how to do that when they change the pattern in the field and it starts to appear as change in 3-dimensional reality, the illusion is everybody's been trying to change matter.